leading the push for answers on UFOs. Congressman, good to have you with us. You may have heard at the very end of the debate, we asked a question about this to Governor Christie for New Jersey. There were sort of some laughs in the room, partly because of what he was saying. But here was his answer to the actual question. Watch.
The job of the President of the United States is to level with the American people about everything. Whether it was UFOs or this problem of education, and Tim's right, by the way, and I started this in 2010 by going right after the teachers' unions in New Jersey and drove them down to an all-time low popularity rating because they were putting themselves before our kids. That is the biggest threat to our country, not UFOs.
Okay, Congressman raises the question, how much of a threat do you believe these UAPs are to our national security? Tell me.
Well, in the expert testimony we had, and thank y'all so much for having me on this and not playing the theme from X-Files when I come on. But in the actual professional testimony we had, these are sworn veterans, they all agreed that it was a threat. I contend if they had this incredible technology, which was described in the sworn testimony, that they could have reduced us to carbon a long time ago. So I'm not that afraid of them, but I am afraid of the fact that we've had 14 documented near-miss incidents with our $60 million aircraft. But worse than that, American pilots, American fighting men and women are put in harm's way. And our government on one side tells us they don't exist, but yet say this film that you're looking at right here, the Tic Tac video, not TikTok like the communist Chinese propaganda, Tic Tac like the breath mint, is showing a craft with no heat signature, able to fly underwater with little or no friction, come out of the water and fly. And you hear the pilots, they're laughing about it. And I've talked to those pilots. They're the best in the world. They couldn't keep up with it. They said there's nothing on this planet that has those kind of credentials. And I've been briefed in secure settings. I've been told in off-the-record conversations, I've viewed things that would generally, be headlines across the world, but yet we continue to deny that this exists when it's right there in front of us. And our Pentagon, though, oddly enough, on one hand is saying, I call them the war pimps, because that's really what they are. They're in the business of selling war to this nation and putting Americans in harm's way for profit. They are saying they don't exist, but now they're saying, well, give us extra money and we'll study this thing. And in fact, they've been taking millions of dollars to do that. And, the Pentagon has never passed an audit. They lose billions of dollars. They have a large percentage of their assets are unaccounted for, yet they want us to give us more money to study something they say does not exist. I just say, let's have some transparency.
Okay. I'm sure they would take issue with your characterization of them at the Pentagon, but you're entitled to your opinion on that. Here is Mr. Grush talking about, he's the Air Force veterans, answering another question in that hearing. Watch this.
Mr. Grush, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely.
All right. Just a final thought. What do you expect will move the ball forward next on this issue so that everyone can have a better understanding about the 510 identified reports of these sorts of issues out there, sir?
Nothing's going to happen until it's politically advantageous to the people of this country. Wake up and say, show me the files. I would tell you to contact your congressmen and senators and say, show us what's going on. Quit with the stonewalling. Let's appoint this special committee that has subpoena power that can call these people in. David Grush is a decorated veteran, and yet he's been outed as someone with PTSD by the intelligence community. We are over the target. They are afraid, and they're showing their true ilk right now.
Well, we've seen some acknowledgement on the part of the White House that they believe this is an issue for our military. So it seems like it should be getting the attention that it deserves. If it's nothing, the American people need to know. And if it isn't, we need to know that as well. Sir, thank you. Congressman Burchett, thank you very much for being here today. Good to see you.
Thank you, ma'am.